So what is collection framework in Java? Collection is a framework that is like including multiple classes, interfaces, okay, methods, algorithm, multiple things inside the respective different APIs. So what we'll have in that, in this collection framework, what we can do, see, like if we are going to define this collection, so multiple objects can be represented or stored in a single object. This is known as collection. And implementation of all classes is based on some algorithm. Like see, in collection, we'll have some interfaces, some inbuilt classes, multiple things here. So they are using some algorithm which are already predefined inside the collection library. Okay, now what actually collection framework? See, this framework was introduced from Java 1.2. And after C+ means right now we guys are using that. That framework consists multiple interfaces, class, and some algorithms. That is inside the package which is known as java.util. This framework consists multiple interfaces such as list, set, queue. Okay, and map is also there, but we cannot say that map is inside a collection framework. Map is a different interface that is like introduced from Java 1.2 as well, but that is at a different. All right. So what is the advantages of collection framework? Less line of code, right? Strong communication between APIs, less effort in design and implementation, and increased performance as well. So let me open my Eclipse. There, what I'm going to do, see, first of all, I'm going to create a new Java project, or we can go with Maven project, any other project. So let me go with the Java project. Next. Okay, see, I'm going with Java 1.8. If you are using any other version, so you can use that. So that is collection programs. This will be my project name, and let me click on finish. Okay, that will going to change the perspective. Now see, this is the collection program. Now let me create a very basic, and we can see that what is the difference, like if we are going to call that with collection, or if we are going to call that with a simple data structure. Slide test code. Let me put a package name. This is form.test collection. All right, let me go with main and then finish. So this is my class. Now there, what I'll tell you that I have a data somewhere. Okay, like that data can be anywhere. So for example, let me declare a data or array. Like I'll tell you that you have few students. Okay, so few students in your class. You are going to store their name. Okay, what should be your task? Let me put it there. Few students in class, right? And you need to store their name. Okay, store the name. So there we have a problem that we don't know what is the size, okay, for those students, right? So initially, like if we don't know the collection framework, so what comes in our mind? So we'll think, okay, we can go with either array, okay, or we can ask that how many user you'll have. Accordingly, we can declare the string. In this way, we can move. Like, see, if someone tell you that, for example, we have 60 students in class. So integer, I say name. Let me go with the string, because name should be a string type. Equals to new string. What is the size? For example, I'll go with 60. That's it. After that, what you are going to do, you are just going to the scanner class for the user input. Scanner, and the object should be scanner and any object name. Then we can go with system dot semicolon. Now you'll ask, okay, that how many number of students you'll have. So for someone says, for example, we'll have a 30 students. So you are going with this 30 size. So what about this extra 30? That size is based on. Okay, that is not in use. Now you are going with, instead of 30, let me go with some less size like 5. Okay, and let me go with the input and let me give a message sys out. Please input your data. Okay, please input your name. All right, so we'll have name of I equals to scanner dot next. Fine, looks fine. All right, now see, array is already declared. Size 60 is already allocated. Now we are going to use that 5 name only. So let me copy this for loop to print the output, and let me print this out name. Right. So whatever be my input, accordingly I'll get the output. So let me give a message sys out. This will be my output. All right. Let me run this code. Okay, so we are expecting console. This is my console. That is loading. Please input your name. So for example, I said first name is like user 1. Okay. User 2, user 3, user 4, and user 5. So this is my output. So like, see, we had not declared any length. Okay, like we are using still static declaration. So this is a static declaration. That is still there. So what we required, we don't want to go with this. So what is the advantages of collection? Less line of codes, strong communication between API, less effort in design and implementation, and increased performance. How? With the dynamic declaration. Okay, that we are going to discuss in some time. All right, so this is the collection interface. So collection interface, see, we'll have 3 interfaces which are set, list, and queues. So these interfaces are extending the property of collection because they all are these. See, these 3 are interfaces. So they are extending the property of collection inside their structure. Right. So let me go with a basic, let me go with list. So if I'm going to declare list over there, like list, control space, as I tell you, that is inside a java.util package. Right. So let me press enter. Let me check, see, what is the implementation of this list. So there you can see this is an interface which is extending again a collection interface inside. Right. It means list is extending, and see, list is having multiple methods. You can say, as I tell you, that they are having the inbuilt algorithms in that. So see that these are the methods of list interface. We'll have some classes inside this. So let me show you. So what is list? This interface is extending collection interface that we had recently uh, like checked in our Eclipse. Duplicates elements are allowed in this interface. See, it means like if you are going with the duplicate elements, so that we can easily put. It will display all the elements in ordered list, right? And what are the classes? Linked list, array list, stack vector. Let me tell you one more thing. In Java, we cannot create object of interface. Let me tell you, if you said we can. So in that case, see what you require. You need to call all the methods of this list interface in your code. Like either you're using them or not using them. So that is not suggestible. So still, see, list is providing, like list interface is providing us some classes like a link list. Okay, we'll have an array list as well. Now we are going to implement them and test that what is the difference between. Okay, how we can implement them. So let me close this list class. That is a use now. See, now if I'm going to let me put this in comment. Okay. So now the same scenario is in front of us. So few students in your class. Now still you tell me that we don't know the size. No. we are going to create a reference equals to, now we are going with a linked list. Where you should go with a linked list, where you should go with the array list. So that, like, see, if you have an index related element, so you can go with the array list. Okay, if you want to perform any operation in the middle, so you can go with the linked list. But still, there are some more differences. Now, see, let me tell them that this is of string type, right? This linked list is of string, right? So let me put a package for this. Package is imported. Fine now, right? Now you can simply ask, like, there what we can do, we can also ask from the user that please tell me how many students you have. At a runtime, it can tell me it is having 5 students or 10 students. So how we are going to perform this? So let me initiate this for loop again. I'm not going to copy it. Integer I equals to 0, semicolon, I should be less than 5, semicolon, I plus plus. All right. Now, let me copy this scanner. There. This syntax as well. Right. Okay. Please input your name. Now it is going to input the name, and what I'm just going to add them list dot add scanner dot next. First of all, see, let me show you. List dot control space. All right. So it is asking of, see, the type which it is asking, that is of object type. Why? Because string I mentioned there. So let me copy this string. Let me paste it there. Let me save this code, control space. Now there you can find that this is of a string type. All right. Now scanner dot next semicolon. And after performing all these things, let me print the list. So list. Let me run this code. Okay, please enter your name. So user, once again, user 1. Let me copy, paste. Okay, no problem. User 3, user 4, and user 5. See, now you will get them as a collection. Okay, that is in a collection. Why? Because see, earlier I tell you what is collection. Collection is an object that can store multiple objects. It means all the data is inside this list. Okay, so what is that, like, why we are putting error list on this side? I mean, simple list on this side, and we are putting error list on this side. So if we are going to test it, so see, list dot add. You can easily check that this is the method of list interface, not error list. So in this case, if you want to achieve the complete functionality of error list, so you need to go with this error list. Now, if we are going with list dot control space add, so you can find now this method belongs to error list. So like you can add in that way. We are not going to add it because we had already added. Says out. Let me print this list. Now, if I'm going to print this list, then what I'll get? User 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me copy it. 1 second. 5. So we'll get that inside a collection. So how can we segregate them? To segregate it, what you can do, you can use this for each one. There, you need to define the type. Okay, what is the type? That they all are of string type. Now, let me take a reference variable which is S. Sorry, S. And I'm going to put everything in this S. And now let me print this out S only. Now, if I'm going to run this, so user 1, user 4, and then user 5. Now they all are print independent. So if you want to perform any operation, you can perform your operation there. All right. So we'll have linked list as well. See, array list and linked list, these two things. So what is the difference between them? Array list is increasing in order. Linked list, what I'll explain you, that linked list is what? That elements are doubly linked to each other. Means elements are doubly linked. So how we can check? We need to identify that linked list behaviors inside that or not. Memory location is not contiguous. Okay, manipulation can be done easily. So how can we do this? Let me remove this error list and let me go with linked list. Linked list. See, there you had already added some elements. Okay, and there, see, we are going to print that with the for loop, so size is not required. Now let me add our element list dot add. So you'll find that we have something which is known as add first, add last. So let me add something which is user 6 or user 4. Let me minimize this loop fill. 3. Right. Now if I'm going to run this, so it will ask me user 1, I said, user 2, I said. Oh, all right. So let me run this code again. 1 second, guys. User 1, user 2, user 3. So we'll get automatically user 4 added there. We have the same feature with this array list. So how we can check this? We are just going to change in this class array list. Array list. So we'll get error. See, in line number 20, because this method is not supported by array list. This is the difference, one of the difference between array list and linked list. But you can do, see, there are multiple methods. You can call them, implement them, and check them with the API. Otherwise, see, this video will be in multiple hours if we are going to implement it. Now we have a third class, which is known as vector. So let me tell you, see, this is like the oldest class, which was in Java 1.0 earlier. After collection framework was introduced, that is adopted by collection framework. So what is the difference between vector and the other? Vector is C. Implementation is same as array list, visible. Vector is thread sync. What does it mean? It means it prevents from another thread to access the same. This is the benefit of working with vector. Most of the methods of this class are fine. Now set interface. So what actually set interface? What I can do, instead of this, we can use set interface. So let me change it there again. Initially, we'll go with the set. And which set we are going to see? Again, what is the benefit of set? Unordered collection of elements. Duplicate elements are not allowed. So this benefit we can check by the implementation. Classes on the set interfaces are hash set, preset, and linked hash set. So let me go with the hash set. And the object will be set, for example. The same thing we are doing. Instead of this list, see, we can change this to small set because this is my object. And let me remove this method. Instead of this list, we can print, set. No changes. See, because we are working with the objects, we just perform some changes in this respective objects. Now, let me run this code. All right, so we are going to input the name, which is user 1, user 2, user 1 again. So what we'll get as an output is only 2 values. It means it found one duplicate data which is not printed. This is the first benefit of set. Now let me show you something. For example, let me print 4 values. Java, okay, Hibernate, Spring, JSP. What we'll get? Spring, Java, JSP, Hibernate. This is hash set. Now what actually hash? Display data in random order. As we see, what we input Java, Hibernate, Spring, JSP. And what we'll get as an output? Data is printed in some random. Right. Unsorted and unordered set. So that we are checking over. Right. It also use Hashmap involved. What is Hashmap? That we are going to check. Okay. Now what is next in picture? Next is linked hash set. See the same thing. Like what is the difference? Again, order of elements during the iteration remains same. That you need to keep in mind. The only changes, order of elements during the iteration remains same. Okay. What does it see? And the order of elements remains same as inserted. This is the benefit of linked hash set. You can test it by yourself. 3 set. This is something. Now, for example, we have this out. Okay. And let me change this hash set to 3 set. Now let me run this code again. What we require as an output, like Java, okay, Hibernate, Spring, JSP. So what you will see, Hibernate, Java, JSP, Spring. So how to perform sorting? Let me tell you. Display element is sorted out, right? So that will sort your element based on the natural order. But if you want to perform some like manual changes, or if you want them to be sorted according to your choice, so you can use comparator. Different. See, what you guys can do, you guys can change this to integer as well. Integer. Right, the thing which we require, once again. The thing which we require, because now next will not work for us. We require next end, because we are going to work with integer. Again, here we need to perform changes as well. Integer. Now let me run this code. See, we'll have the 4 input only. So let me go with 33, 22, 55, 11. What is our output? This. Okay. Let me run this code again and show you something. 11, 55, 22, 11 again. So what we'll get as an output, guys? 3 things. Because set is still persisting the property to remove duplicate elements. This is the benefit of set. Now, what is next in that? Like in this chain, what is the next implementation? Next is known as map interface. So what is map? Now what I'm going to do, in this set, let me remove it. So how we can get map? Again, there is inside java.util package. It required KV. So K stands for key and V is then. So K is what? See, we required anything. You can go with string, you can go with string integer, any string. Now again, see what is map. First of all, understand the map. Works with key value pair. Key should be unique. Data can be fetched with key. In set and list, if you like remember, so we were using the add method. Okay, but their data will be added with the put method. We'll have put method in. What are the classes in map interface? Hashmap, premap, link. Now what is hashmap? All right. So data can be accessed with key on, right? We can access our data with the key, like as I tell you earlier. So we only have this key to access the data. Hashing approach is using hash. Why? For faster search and indexing. So if we are going with like if we want to print or if we want to perform the searching and indexing related operation, so you can use this interface. Okay, next is map.entry. So see, what is that? That is an interface which is used to print the data. So how we can do this? How this map.entry works? So let me create, see, we cannot create because there you can see that if we are going with this method, so we are getting anonymous in our that will call everything. So we are going with the hash map suggestible. So how we can add data again, map dot put integer and key. So let me go with one. Use let me copy this data so we can edit it according to our choice. 2, 3, 4. User 4, user 3, user 2, user 1. Now if I'm going to print it, says out map. Let me check what I will get it. So you can see that everything is clubbed inside this curly braces. It means everything is inside the map. So how can I segregate? So to segregate them, we require another interface, as I tell you, which is map.entry. So let me, again, I'm going with this, the same for each loop, map.entry. Okay, one second, not this entry will work for us. Map.entry. E should be kept. Right. Now, what is my key? I can tell them my key is integer and value is string. Looks fine. Now, let me give them any variable reference like map we had already taken. So let me go with MA or M colon. Where is everything? Everything is inside this object. Map dot. So let me go with this entry set. So this is the method of setting. Now, how can I print that? See, as I tell you that we can fetch them independently. Sys out M dot. You can easily check that we have a method which is known as get value. So get value is the method of entry class. We'll also have a method. Second, let me type that is not responding, which is known as map dot get key. Right. So we were using hash. M dot tool space get thing will done according to the keys. Right. In linked hash map, keys order are that you need to keep in mind that in this linked hash map, the order of keys. Okay, so iteratable interface. So what is that? See, this interface is extended by collection used to display elements of collection. We also have this for each loop. So how iterator works? One second, let me show you with example of list. Okay, we have removed list. Okay, so let me declare this list. That is all. Like for example, integer. Not just that's fine. List dot add 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So see, iterator. I'm not going to define any specific type. Let me take a variable which required all the elements to iterate in that. Now everything is inside this respective reference variable. So how can you fetch that? See, we need to perform while loop iterator dot as next. If it has any variable, so please print sysout iterator dot next. Right. Okay. Let me print it. You'll get all the values. Why we are getting this? Oh, we are not using scan. So that is not. If you are going, I mean, if you want to go for the user input, so in that case, you can use scan. In this scanner dot next. Now user. If you want to perform any operation like whatever I'm going to input, +1. All right. So once, not in this way. What I can do, I can store that inside any variable, and after that I can perform this. That works. Okay. So by name, once again, let me terminate it. Please enter your numbers. $11, 12, 22, 33, 44. This is the. So everything is inside this section, right? So that is all about collection from my side, right?